Hey guys, Sean P here. I've lived here for 3 years and I hadn't had a chance yet to check out one of Victoria's most iconic landmarks. And of course I'm talking about Butchart Gardens. So it's a beautiful day today. We had a couple free hours and we're gonna go take a tour. Let's check it out. Butchart Gardens is actually really close to downtown Victoria. It's just 21 kilometers away. That's gonna be about a half-hour drive most of the time. So it's really popular as a day trip for people who live anywhere in the greater Victoria area, and also for people who visit the city because it's super accessible. There's buses from downtown, and whenever cruise ships are in, there'll typically be a few buses that line up at the cruise ship to pick people up and take them there. Honestly, after seeing it, I understand why. I never really grasped the scope of it. I always thought that it was going to be something more typical to what you'd expect the size of a garden to be, but it was absolutely huge. It's a total of 55 acres. The property itself historically was actually a limestone quarry that was owned by the Butchart family, and in 1904 it had been depleted, and they had the family home was on the property, and Jeannie Butchart began basically transforming it. Okay, so where she started and her original focus is actually where we started on our tour. So after getting through the parking lot, we walked in through the main entrance in the visitor center, and the first thing that happens is you go to what they call the sunken garden, and this is actually built into where the quarry was. This area featured just a magic assortment of plants. It was incredibly landscaped and manicured, and it all kind of leads you down to where the lowest point in the entire quarry had been, and they have this incredible fountain with a waterfall running down next to it, and it was just kind of cool because there were all these different winding paths, and it was absolutely a huge space, but it was not so big that it would be hard for us to keep track of our kids in. Like, after we explored the sunken garden, we kind of backtracked a little bit and we headed back towards the concert area where they also have the totem poles. It's where they do the fireworks, and importantly, they also had the carousel. So the kids had the chance to run on the carousel. That was so cute. It was really fun. It was a classic old-timey thing. We did 2 go-rounds, but I could only really get through one because honestly, it was pretty fast, and I'm normally pretty good with motion sickness, but it got the better of me, and I had to sit the second round out. So instead, what I did was I took some pictures, I waited for the gang, and then we can pass on our way to the rose garden, and they just created this really beautiful little nook that you could kind of tuck into. There's also near the concert stage a significant grassy area where there were people having picnics and just kind of taking a break. And even though it wasn't the main part of the garden, everything was just immaculate, and they'd clearly put a tremendous amount of thought into it. Okay, here's the honest truth. I'm not a big rose guy. It's never been my thing. And at the same time, the rose garden was absolutely insane. They have over 250 varieties of roses. And the time of year that we were there, just about all of them were in perfect bloom. It was honestly overwhelming. It smelled incredible. They were incredibly beautiful and well cared for. All of them had just roses bursting from every corner. And I left with a new appreciation for roses. 250 varieties. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. The next part though was really the part that I think I was probably the most excited about. I am a bit of a garden geek, and I absolutely love Japanese garden design. And as you might imagine, they have a massive and beautiful Japanese garden. It was designed by Isaburo Kishida, and it is just as you'd expect. It's serene, it's well thought out, and to the point of feeling insightful, like they predict where you're going to look. It featured all kinds of elements like bridges and streams and a tremendous number of Japanese maples. And just generally, this was like an absolutely beautiful retreat. Out of there, we passed the Star Pond and we went through the Italian garden, making our way back to finish our trip. All in all, we were there for about 2 hours. You could do pretty much everything in an hour if you steamrolled, but realistically, if you're taking kids, I'd plan for 1.5 to 2.5 hours. We did stop and get some gelato. They've got an amazing little gelato stand, and they were generous with their servings, and we really enjoyed just getting to sit down and enjoy that afterwards. And we also went to the gift shop afterwards, where they have an incredible collection of seeds available. So if you want to take home some seeds and try your hand at growing some of the things that you saw while you were there, you can do that as well, which I just thought was a really nice touch. All in all, there's a reason that this is something that is so special to the people and visitors of Victoria. This is fabulous. Thanks for watching. As always, like and subscribe to this video so you don't miss any of the future ones that we post, and we'll see you on the next one.